So hi, I'm Tommy. We're reporting once again here from BlackHat, USA 2016. And I'm sitting here with Raimund Genes from Trend Micro. Welcome, Raimund.
Thank you, Tommy.
Just wanted to ask you some questions in regards to connected threat defense, which is a concept that you guys have come up with or named on the last year.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and actually it's based on technology we are using for a while. It's just internally, actually, the code name was Better Together.
Oh,
and I think that's
beautiful.
what it actually describes, because it really describes that the products itself are already great, but then they work with the other products and influence all the other products. You have a way better security posture. For example, when our deep discovery network breach detection system, which by the way, again, is one of the leading products 3 years in a row now based on NSS results, when it detects something, it automatically generates rules and policies for Office Scan, for the gateway product, for deep security. So it's influencing and changing the security posture on the fly against new threats. And it's fully automatic, and I think that's beneficial. So the admin doesn't need to look at thousands of log files, sweating, typing something in, creating SHA-1 by himself and so on. It's automatic. So the product are learning from each other and are learning from events and incidents. And what you're seeing now is, I would say, just the start of a journey. We already have additional sensors like endpoint sensors, which is something like a flight recorder you place on an endpoint in addition to Office Scan, or even on an endpoint with a competitor product, and it just records what's happening on the endpoint. And when something suspicious then is triggered by deep discovery, it grabs the data from the endpoint and processes it and is able to find the patient zero, or what exactly happened there and how the attack looked like, how it started and so on. And we see a lot of companies here on the show floor who say big data analytics, machine learning, all this kind of stuff.
Artificial intelligence.
And artificial intelligence. And I wonder myself, when I look at some of our big customers, like for example Siemens, 450,000 users, good luck grabbing all the information from 450,000 endpoints, processing it centrally. I think our approach is more clever, leaving it at the endpoint until you need it and then analyze it. But it's these small players, it's cool, big data is cool, but they don't understand the rollout costs for a larger organization and the management costs for a larger organization. And this machine learning, what you hear here, my reply is always, if somebody confronts me with this, always, we just standard malware. We are receiving about 700,000 new malware variants per day. We don't have 5,000 guys manually analyzing it. We use machine learning forever to do this. We just don't promote it because it's just something which you have to do.
Yeah, so it's just a new name for something that has been existing.
Yeah, the new name now is AI, and let's see.
Exactly. In Norway, and of course in every country, basically, ransomware is the big issue.
Yeah.
And has taken the focus back to the endpoint, I would say. A couple of years ago, a lot of firewall vendors basically telling everyone you don't need to have a client antivirus or anti-malware or whatever, because we can do it all in one box, one central box, and that's it. And now we're seeing a lot of focus on the endpoints once again.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, the endpoint is back. This was a mantra of the RSA conference, and my reply to this is, for us, the endpoint was never gone.
Exactly.
We are for 14 years in the leadership magic quadrant of Gartner with Office Scan. So it was never gone, and it's necessary. Some people are saying that AV is dead. Good luck switching off your antivirus. Good luck switching off your anti-spam.
Yeah.
You will not be able to survive because it keeps away the noise. And especially with ransomware, I not only see the endpoint as being very important, we actually see more sales for our traditional gateway products. A lot of people outsource to the cloud using cloud technology and say, hey, they could do it all, and it's scalable, but it's not flexible. You can't create rule sets which are important for your corporate environment. You can't script it in a way that it filters out almost all ransomware at the gateway. So we see customers who are still using a cloud service, but in addition, are purchasing traditional interscan licenses, which I think is really interesting. And this is because of ransomware, I would say, in Europe, but in the US it's also already because of BEC, business email compromise. The FBI has just released a report and has stated that in the last 3 years, companies lost 3 billion because of business email compromise, which is, somebody claims to be the CEO of a company, talks with the CFO and states, hey buddy, we need to transfer this money now, it's a secret merger and whatever, and do it now. And the attackers are pretty clever, because what they do is they implant malware, remote access trojans into an organization, and they're just listening to the traffic, and they're just learning how the CEO and CFO are talking together. Recently, there was a case in Europe, in Austria, an aircraft part delivery company serving Airbus and Boeing and so on, so pretty decent size. They fired the CFO and the CEO because these guys transferred 55 million and only have been able to recover 10 million.
Oh boy, that's big. Incredible.
See, we actually, and that's also nothing new, we know about it for a while. We work with Interpol now for 2 years, and we just released a press release together with Interpol that based on this cooperation, one of the guys in Nigeria and the group around him have been jailed.
All right.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's very good. That's really, really interesting stuff. Just one more question. Before we round up, I wanted to ask you a little bit about TippingPoint. What's the status commercially? Can you say anything?
So commercially, we decided, to keep them for this year from a sales point of view as a separate entity. The back office integration is done, all the threat know-how, CDI labs, our researchers and so on, and this is benefiting all the customers. But from a commercial side, it's still a little bit, you need to talk with these guys, you need to talk with these guys, but all the TippingPoint guys are now Trend Micro employees. Okay. We are really proud that we did a stat recently, actually, end of July, and we have a 98% retention rate, which is really good after such an acquisition. Yes, none of the techies left, a few of the sales guys, it's normal left.
But the brains are still there. That's good.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but even most of the sales guys are really happy now being part of Trend Micro, because our whole focus is security, and it makes it also easier. What I could recommend to our partners is really, talk with you guys, talk with us, and because we have some flexibility. Let's see it, so we could do it through Trend Micro or through the TippingPoint stuff, but it's a case-by-case decision. The formal thing is really, it's still a separate entity till the end of this year.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Raimund.
Thank you.
Nice to speak with you. Thanks. All right, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. This is Infinigate TV, once again reporting from Vegas.